Hello students, myself Mrs. Jadge sir from AGM College Karad, subject biology. We have started the topic biodiversity conservation and environmental issues. In last lecture we have studied what is meant by biodiversity, different aspects of biodiversity, and then we have studied different levels of biodiversity, that is genetic diversity, species diversity and ecosystem diversity. And in today's lecture we are going to see patterns of biodiversity. So, in this point, we have to study different patterns of biodiversity. In last lecture, we have studied levels of biodiversity, but in today's lecture, we have to study different patterns of biodiversity. This pattern shows two types. First, latitudinal and altitudinal gradients, and second, species area relationship. So here you can see the two patterns of biodiversity. The first pattern is latitudinal and altitudinal gradients, and second, species area relationship. Out of which, first of all, we have to study latitudinal and altitudinal gradient. So in this pattern, we can study the different biodiversity which is occurring on this earth in different latitudes and different altitudes. Means we are observing on the earth the distribution of diversity is not uniform. म्हणजे पृथ्वीवरती सर्व ठिकाणी जर आपण बघितलं तर सगळीकडे डायव्हर्सिटी ही एकसारखी बघायला मिळत नाही. सम एरिया इज शोइंग ग्रेटर डायव्हर्सिटी, सम एरिया इज शोइंग लेसर डायव्हर्सिटी. सो how this diversity is getting differentiated according to the latitude and according to the altitude. This point is to be studied in this type. So here first we have to study the latitudinal gradient. So here from the first pattern, subpoint first latitudinal gradient. So what is meant by latitude? Here we can see the structure of earth. So here the diagram is drawn that is showing different structure of earth. Our earth is showing a central point which is at 0 degree, that is known as equator. So here this 0 degree line is called as an equator, and upper part of this earth it is north side and lower part of this earth is south side, and from 0 degree to 23.5 degree up to north, this region is called as tropical region. Here also on south side this is called as tropical region. So from 0 degree to 23.5 degree on north surface and on south side, both these regions which are present near the equator, those regions are called as the tropical regions. Then from 23.5 degree north to 66.5 degree north, this region is called as subtropical or temperate region. Subtropical or temperate region means from 23.5 to 66.5 on north side and on also south side, this region is called as a subtropical or temperate region, and beyond the 66.5 up to 90 degree up to north, and beyond the 66.5 up to 90 degree to the south, this समुद्राच्या जवळचा जो भाग आहे त्याला ट्रॉपिकल रिजन म्हटलं जातं. ट्रॉपिकल रिजनच्या नंतरचा जो भाग आहे त्याला सब ट्रॉपिकल किंवा टेम्परेट रिजन म्हटलं जातं आणि टेम्परेट रिजनच्या वरचा जो भाग आहे त्याला पोलर रिजन म्हटलं जातं. अशा पद्धतीनं हे जे रिजन दिसतात, हे जे ग्रेडियंट दिसतात, दीज ग्रेडियंट्स आर कॉल्ड एज द लॅटिट्युडिनल ग्रेडियंट्स विच इज द आवर पॉइंट pattern of biodiversity. So here we are observing the area which is called as a tropical, subtropical and polar, and how the diversity is getting distributed. All these areas we have to study. So when we observe all these areas, the species diversity is increasing or it is very high in the tropical region. This is species diversity which is very high in this region. Means we can see this tropical region is showing very great diversity. All the plants and animals which are present in this tropical area are showing very high number. Accordingly, the subtropical temperate or temperate region, it shows low diversity. Means here we can see there is low diversity. Here there is low diversity. And in polar region, very low diversity is seen. So here we can grab only one arrow. So in this diagram, we can study how the diversity is distributed in different latitudes. Here, near the equatorial of the Earth, the tropical region, it is showing very high diversity. Then this subtropical region is showing low diversity, and the polar region is showing very low diversity. म्हणजे काय बघा इथं जो आपला ट्रॉपिकल रिजन आहे त्यामध्ये आपल्याला झाडांची आणि प्राण्यांची संख्या ही खूप मोठ्या प्रमाणामध्ये बघायला मिळते, म्हणून इथं आपण हाय डायव्हर्सिटी म्हटलेलं आहे. अँड व्हेन वी ऑब्झर्विंग सबट्रॉपिकल रिजन, this subtropical region is showing less number of plants and less number of animals, therefore it is showing low diversity. And when we come in this polar region, it is only the part of earth which is covered only with ice, and therefore in that region very low diversity is seen, and therefore this diversity on the earth is showing gradient according to the latitude. Hence we can see the high diversity is seen at low altitude, that is 0 degree, and when we are going to high latitude means 2366 or 2366, as we are going to higher latitude the species diversity is becoming low. म्हणजेच काय की लोअर लॅटिट्यूडला आपल्याला संख्या जास्त बघायला मिळते, पण जसं जसं आपण हायर लॅटिट्यूडकडे जातो तसं तसं तुम्हाला ही डायव्हर्सिटी कमी झालेली बघायला मिळते. अँड दॅट इज द लॅटिट्युडिनल पॅटर्न ऑफ बायोडायव्हर्सिटी, जे आपल्याला ह्या डायग्रामच्या आधारे आपण एक्सप्लेन केलेलं आहे. सो इन दिस ट्रॉपिकल एरिया वी आर ऑब्झर्विंग स्पेसिएशन. सो नेक्स्ट पॉइंट ऑफ डिस्कशन, स्पेसिएशन इन ट्रॉपिकल एरियाज. Speciation is occurred in tropical areas. Why there is much number of plants, much number of animals in this tropical area? What are the reasons for the high diversity in the tropical area? So there are number of reasons, such as there are less disturbances which are occurring in tropical areas. There are lesser migrations in these tropical areas because it is having variety of plants and variety of animals. Therefore all the organisms are getting resources which are available in that particular tropical area. They are not requiring these resources from any other source. म्हणजे त्यांना लाईफ जगण्यासाठी जे लागणारं मटेरियल आहे ते ट्रॉपिकल एरियामध्येच प्रेझेंट आहे. देअरफॉर दे डू नॉट वॉन्ट टू मायग्रेट, त्यामुळे त्यांना स्थलांतर होण्याची गरज नाही. अँड देअरफॉर देअर इज लेसर मायग्रेशन, हाय temperature, higher rainfall, all the climatic conditions which are responsible for growth of these organisms are favorable in this tropical area, and therefore the number of plants or animals or the number of species is increasing tropical area, and therefore the number of different types of species are founding in this tropical area, and it is called as a speciation in tropical area. म्हणजेच काय आपण इथे सांगू शकतो की ट्रॉपिकल एरियामधलं क्लायमॅटिक कंडिशन हे प्लांट किंवा ॲनिमल किंवा कोणत्याही ऑर्गॅनिझमला जगण्यासाठी अतिशय सुटेबल असतं, आणि त्याच्यामुळे आपल्याला तिथं व्हरायटी ऑफ ऑर्गॅनिझम निर्माण झालेली बघायला मिळतात. त्याच कन्सेप्टला इथं काय म्हणलेलं आहे, स्पेसिएशन म्हणलेलं आहे. डिफरंट स्पेसीज आर फॉर्मड इन दिस ट्रॉपिकल एरिया, अँड देअरफॉर दिस ट्रॉपिकल एरिया इज शोइंग हाय डायव्हर्सिटी. बट इन सब ट्रॉपिकल region or temperate region, the climatic conditions are not constant. They are always changing, and therefore those climatic conditions are not suitable for particular organism, and therefore the diversity is getting low. And in polar region, you know, Antarctic continent or Arctic continent, where only ice is observed, so there is very low diversity of plants is observed, and hence according to the latitude there is different gradients in this biodiversity. This is the first point, that is pattern of biodiversity according to the latitudinal gradient. Okay, then here we can see example in tropical area. There the example given in our textbook is the plants or the animals which are showing variety in this tropical area. Here one example is given. That example is frugivorous animals. Frugivorous animals means fruit-eating plants. Fruit-eating animals. जसं आपण herbivores are animals, those are eating plants. Carnivores are those animals which are eating animal flesh. ही जी नावं आपल्याला माहिती आहे. तसेच one typical type of animal group is founding on this earth, and that group is called as a frugivorous. What is mean by frugivorous? The frugivorous means fruit-eating animals, the animals which are particularly eating only fruits, and hence here in tropical area there is high diversity, and therefore these frugivorous animals are found very much in this area, that is tropical area, than the temperate area or subtropical area, because the number of plants here is less than this tropical area, and therefore these frugivorous animals and some other mammals which are showing high number in this equatorial region than the subtropical region, and this is called as a latitudinal gradient. Again we have to see example of Amazon rainforest. The Amazon rainforest is the very huge forest on this earth. म्हणजे ॲमेझॉनचं जंगल बघितलं तर आपल्या जगामध्ये सगळ्यात मोठं जंगल आहे, and this Amazon forest is lying near this equatorial plane. म्हणजे ह्या पृथ्वीच्या विषुववृत्ताच्या जवळच असणारा हा असा अमेझॉनचं खोरा आहे, आणि this Amazon is showing variety of plants, variety of animals, like they are showing 40,000 plant species. 40,000 plant species आपल्याला बघायला मिळू शकतात. They are showing 1300 birds, जे 1300 वेगवेगळ्या पक्ष्यांच्या जाती आपल्याला तिथे बघायला मिळू शकतात. They are showing about 500 animals in that Amazon forest, and they are showing different varieties of bacteria, viruses, fungi, and accordingly it is showing 3000 different species. Very high diversity on this earth. सगळ्यात जास्त डायव्हर्सिटी आपल्याला कुठे बघायला मिळते तर Amazon forest मध्ये बघायला मिळते, and that Amazon forest is lying in between this equatorial line of the earth, and therefore this latitude is also important for the biodiversity. So here the first latitudinal gradient we have completed. Nextly we have to study altitudinal gradient. So here second point, altitudinal gradient. What is meant by altitude? So altitude it is a term which is used for the height of any region from the mean sea level. म्हणजे एखाद्या रिजनचा आपल्याला समुद्र सपाटीपासूनची उंची किती आहे ती मोजली तर त्याला आपण इथे काय म्हणणार आहे, अल्टिट्यूड म्हणणार आहे. मीन्स हियर अल्टिट्यूड मीन व्हॉट, height from the mean sea level. diversity is more at lower altitudes than the higher altitudes. म्हणजे समुद्र सपाटीपासून आपण कमी उंचीवर असलो तर तिथं आपल्याला डायव्हर्सिटी जास्त बघायला मिळेल आणि जसं जसं समुद्र सपाटीपासून आपण वर जाऊ तसं तसं आपल्याला ती डायव्हर्सिटी कमी झालेली बघायला मिळेल. सो दिस पॉइंट इज एक्सप्लेनिंग इन द हेल्प ऑफ दिस ग्राफ. हियर दिस इज एक्स एक्सिस, दिस इज वाय एक्सिस. हियर number of species and here altitude. If we are plotting the graph, x-axis showing altitude and y-axis showing number of species, this graph is shown just like this. So here you can see at lower altitude, suppose here are the number of altitudes. So in this case you can see the lower altitude is showing highest number of species. Here you can see highest number of species here. When we are increasing altitude, suppose we are going here, the number of species is quite low from the first altitude. Likewise, when we are going to higher altitude, here you can see the number of species is getting decreasing. Here from this graph we can understand how the altitude is responsible for the diversity of the living organisms. When there is low altitude, the number of species or species richness is increased, and when we are going to high altitude, जे समुद्र सपाटीपासून आपण जसं जसं वर जाऊ तसं तसं आपल्याला काय बघायला मिळू शकते तर स्पेसिस डायव्हर्सिटी कशी कमी झालेली आहे. हियर यू कॅन सी दिस इज व्हेरी हाय अल्टिट्यूड, दिस इज समवॉट मीडियम अँड हियर व्हेरी लो अल्टिट्यूड. म्हणजे जसं जसं अल्टिट्यूड वाढेल तसं तसं आपल्याला स्पेसिस रिचनेस किंवा जो नंबर ऑफ स्पेसिस आहे तो आपल्याला कमी झालेला बघायला मिळेल. अँड देअरफॉर द स्पेसिस डायव्हर्सिटी इज मोर ॲट लोअर अल्टिट्यूड अँड इट इज गोइंग ऑन डिक्रीजिंग वेन वी आर गोइंग टू हायर अल्टिट्यूड्स. ओके, सो दिस इज द फर्स्ट पॅटर्न that is latitudinal and altitudinal gradient. You can understand in this point. Then we are going to study the second pattern of biodiversity. The second pattern, species area relationship. Very simple word is here. Species area relationship means there is some relationship in between the species and area. What is that relationship? Here we can see when number of species or number of area given large area shows larger diversity. When the area is going on increasing, we can also observing the number of species is also increasing. Here we can see number of species are directly proportional to the area. As area increasing, number of species is also increasing. But this is observed when we are increasing the area, there is increasing the species, but it is up to certain limit. म्हणजे काय की जसा एखादा एरिया आपण वाढवत गेलो, त्याचा स्टडी जर करत गेलो तर आपल्याला संख्या वाढलेली बघायला मिळेल. परंतु ही संख्या कुठपर्यंत वाढेल? अप टू सर्टन लिमिट, काही ठराविक एरियापर्यंत. बियॉन्ड दॅट एरिया, when we are calculating the number of species, there is no any increase in the number of species. म्हणजे तो एरिया आपण तसंच वाढवत नेलो पुढं तर आपल्याला तिथं स्पेसिसमध्ये कोणतीही वाढ झालेली बघायला मिळणार नाही. दॅट इज कॉल्ड ॲज अ स्पेसिस एरिया रिलेशनशिप. हाऊ दिस इज स्टडी? हियर वी कॅन सी वन सायंटिस्ट विच इज जर्मन नॅचरलिस्ट, Alexander von Humboldt. This is the German naturalist, जर्मन नैसर्गिक तज्ञ होता, निसर्ग तज्ञ होता, Alexander von Humboldt. He studied an area and he is showing species area relationship. What he says, the species richness or the diversity of species or number of species is increase in area with increase in area, but it is up to certain limit. हे कधीपर्यंत शक्य आहे? एका certain limit पर्यंत शक्य आहे. So here for understanding this concept we study some example. Here we can study. This is area. Suppose this is 5 kilometer area. This is 10 kilometer area. This is 15 kilometer area. This scientist Alexander von Humboldt, he is studying this area. Suppose here this 5 kilometer area is showing 5,000 species. 5,000 species. This 5 kilometer area is showing 5,000 species. If we are increasing the area under study up to 10 kilometer, the number of species is going on increasing up to 10,000 species. म्हणजे काय केलं, सुरुवातीला आपण 5 किलोमीटर एरियाचा स्टडी केला आणि आपल्या असं लक्षात आलं की तिथं 5,000 वेगवेगळ्या स्पेसीज आढळतात. नंतर आपण काय केलं, एरिया वाढवला. तो कितीपर्यंत वाढवला, 10 किलोमीटर पर्यंत वाढवला. अँड देन द कॅल्क्युलेशन्स आर मेड अँड वी आर ऑब्झर्विंग हियर 10,000 स्पेसीज आर ऑब्झर्विंग, म्हणजे 10,000 स्पेसीज सापडले. मग आपण काय विचार केला की अजून 5 किलोमीटर आपण वाढवूया, म्हणून आपण एरिया काय केला, पुन्हा 15 किलोमीटर पर्यंत वाढवला. म्हणजे 10 होताच, त्यामुळे आणखी 5 वाढवले. बट व्हेन यू आर स्टडीइंग दिस पर्टिक्युलर 5 किलोमीटर एरिया, you can observing there is no any increase in number of species. Here also we are observing 10,000 species. Means 10 किलोमीटर मध्ये आपल्याला 10,000 स्पेसीज मिळालेल्या होत्या आणि जेव्हा 15 किलोमीटरचा सर्वे केला त्यावेळेला सुद्धा तुम्हाला 10,000 स्पेसीज मिळाले. म्हणजेच काय की 5 किलोमीटरचं जेव्हा 10 किलोमीटर झालं त्यावेळेला आपल्याला स्पेसीज इन्क्रीज झालेल्या बघायला मिळाल्या. पण 10 किलोमीटरच्या जेव्हा 15 किलोमीटर झाल्या त्यावेळेला आपल्याला तिथं स्पेसीसचा नंबर वाढलेला बघायला मिळाला नाही. याचाच अर्थ काय आहे, तर नंबर ऑफ स्पेसीज गोइंग इन्क्रीजिंग when increasing area but it increases up to certain limit. एका विशिष्ट लिमिट पर्यंतच ही संख्या वाढते असं या जर्मन नॅचरलिस्टचं म्हणणं आहे, अलेक्झांडर वॉन हम्बोल्ट. Do you understand what is this concept? Species number is going on increasing with increase in area, but it is up to certain limit, and this is explained with this example. So here from this we can say if area is going on increasing, species also increasing, but it is up to certain limit. And this is shown with a graph, and that graph we have to draw here. So here area, here species richness, and when we are plotting this graph, area against species richness, we are observing the graph which is known as rectangular parabola. This graph it is called as a rectangular parabola. Means when we are plotting the area on x-axis and species richness on y-axis, we are getting such type of graph that is called as a rectangular parabola, and this rectangular parabola is showing an equation which is called as S is equal to CA to the power Z. This equation is given for this rectangular parabola. Here S means what? Species richness. Here we have to draw this diagram. S means species richness. A is equal to area. C is equal to, we can say it is called as y-intercept, and Z is called as the slope of line. Means when you are studying this rectangular hyperbola, we are not understanding how much area is increased and how much species richness is occurring in that particular area. To understand, we have to draw a straight line, and for that we are going to take log of this reaction or log of this equation, and hence we are taking the log to the equation. We are getting log S is equal to log C plus z log a. So here z is equal to slope of line. So this is the logarithmic equation of this rectangular hyperbola equation, and taking log we can getting the equation as log s is equal to log c. z जो पॉवरला आहे तो समोर येणार तर इथे z आलेला आहे and log a. And when we are drawing the graph according to this log, we are getting here a straight line, and this is called as a log scale, because we are taking log on both sides, on the left side or on the right side, and therefore it is called as a log scale. And here we can write the equation of this straight line as log s is equal to log c plus z log a. So here for the study we are converting the rectangular hyperbola into the straight line, and we can easily understand how the area is increasing and how is the spatial region is also increasing, but it is up to certain limit. Here you can see the area increasing, spaces richness, but at certain point there is no increase in spaces richness. म्हणजे जसं जसं एरिया वाढत जातो तसं तसा इथं स्पेसेस वाढलेला बघायला मिळतो, परंतु एका ठराविक ठिकाणी गेल्यानंतर ठराविक एरियापर्यंत गेल्यानंतर बघा तुम्ही इथं बघू शकता की कोणत्याही पद्धतीचा स्पेसिसच्या नंबरमध्ये चेंज झालेला नाही. आणि हेच कोणी सांगितलेलं आहे, ह्या जर्मन नॅचरलिस्टने सांगितलेलं आहे, अलेक्झांडर वॉन हम्बोल्ट, आणि ते आपण ह्या ग्राफच्या आधारे आपण समजून घेतलेलं आहे. अँड फ्रॉम दिस graphical representation we can get this equation log s is equal to log c plus z log a, in which z is equal to called as the slope of line, s is equal to spaces richness, a is equal to area, and c is equal to y-intercept. Now when we are calculating this equation by putting the value, we are getting the value of z. We are getting the value of z. जे ह्या इक्वेशनमध्ये आपण सगळ्या किमती भरल्या तर आपल्याला शेवटी व्हॅल्यू कोणाची मिळणार आहे, z ची मिळणार आहे. आणि ती z ची व्हॅल्यू काय असते तर ती दोन पद्धतीने आपल्याला सांगता येईल. दिस व्हॅल्यू ऑफ z इज फॉर टू मॅटर्स. फर्स्ट इज लो एरिया आणि सेकंड इज लार्ज एरिया. जी ही व्हॅल्यू z ची जर आपण काढली तर छोट्या एरियासाठी आपल्याला वेगळी व्हॅल्यू बघायला मिळेल आणि मोठ्या एरियासाठी वेगळी व्हॅल्यू बघायला मिळेल. छोट्या एरियासाठी ती किती असते 0.1 ते 0.2. फॉर एक्झाम्पल लो स्मॉल here we can see small area. What is mean by small area? We are considering a single country. Suppose we are considering India as a country, and from India we are calculating the area and spaces richness, and after calculation we are getting the values which is in between 0.1 to 0.2 for small area, and we are increasing the area. Suppose we are calculating the this z value for total Asian continent. आशिया खंडाचा जर विचार केला आपण आणि हा जर आपण ग्राफ काढला तर ती जर व्हॅल्यू जर आपण बघितली तर दॅट व्हॅल्यू विल बी 0.6 to 1.2. means when we are increasing area the value is going up to 1.2. Here we can see here is the 0, and this is for small area which is 0.1 or 0.2, and when we are considering large area it becomes up to 1. That means it is more steeper. म्हणजे हा जो आपल्याला ग्राफ दिसतोय त्याच्यापेक्षा तुम्हाला हा ग्राफ असा थोडासा वर आलेला बघायला मिळेल. हा कलर कोणासाठी असणार आहे तर फॉर लार्ज एरियासाठी असणार आहे. म्हणून इथं असं म्हटलेलं आहे की व्हॅल्यू ऑफ z showing smaller area it is going slow, it is showing value 0.1 to 0.2. But when it is larger area the slopes are very closer to the vertical axis. This is the vertical axis, y axis, and the slope is more steeper, म्हणजे तो थोडासा जास्त स्ट्रेट झालेला आपल्याला बघायला मिळतो. And this value of z is calculated which is showing 6.6 to 1.2. These values are important for NEET exam, and this spaces area relationship point is very much important for the NEET exam. These values, these examples, it is very important. So you have to understand what is meant by species area relationship. And today's lecture we are completing these patterns of biodiversity. Next lecture, next point will be studied. Thank you.